Welcome back to Unanimous Decision Podcast. I'm your host, D Palm. Follow me on Twitter at DPalm66. And we're back with Week 13 Quick Snaps, looking back at all the NFL action in the week that was. And once again, stunning on the fact that you guys can't seem to beat me in this here pick'em contest. But we're not going to talk about that. First, we're going to talk about the Falcons showing up short against the Vikings. I think, for one, this speaks more to the talent on Minnesota's side than it does against the Falcons. First time Falcons haven't scored a touchdown in 3 years. Lowest yardage total for the Falcons in 5 years. There's an explosive offense, and while I don't think that this tells you exactly what the story is with this Falcons team, I do know that this Vikings team is the one seed in the NFC right now, and they're playing like it. On Thursday night, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington racial slurs in a battle for NFC East, second place, I guess. I don't even know. What are they playing for? The NFC East, every year they tell you how good that division is, and every year we get one team out, maybe. And they don't look. They look fine. The Eagles look fine until Sunday night, and we'll talk about that in a second. The Ravens beat up on the Lions 44-20. This Ravens defense, it's getting more and more impressive, getting harder and harder to deny. They put out Matthew Stafford. They said that it's not a broken hand, but it looked like a broken hand to me. Bills lost to the Patriots 23-3. The story coming out of this one, obviously, Rob Gronkowski, taking the cheap shot to the back of an unprotected player's head. I'm on this podcast a lot, and I talk about the things that I've done on the field, and I wasn't the cleanest player, but that was among the dirtier things I've ever seen. I know that as a culture, as a society, or as a sports group, we've decided that Gronkowski's antics are cheeky and fun and not exactly harmful shenanigans. But at a certain point, you have to look back and say, maybe, just maybe, we should take this more seriously, because you look to a Ndamukong Suh, you look to a James Harris, you look to Devontae Burfict. Their plays, when they get suspended, aren't as egregious. He got one game. He's just appealing. I think he should have gotten two. If he appealed that down to one, that would have been fine for me. But I think it's even better, hopefully, that he gets to play against Miami this week while the appeal goes on and is benched for the Steelers game the following week, which, honestly, some people are like, oh, that'll be karmic justice. The Patriots lose home field. Do you see this team losing to anyone in the AFC, really? The AFC is terrible. It's terrible. Speaking of terrible, the Niners beat the Bears on a last-second field goal by Robbie Gould, who was cut by the Bears, I believe it was 2 years ago, and they told him that we just didn't think he had it anymore, and he ends up winning the game and stunning on his whole team. And I'm always here for that level of pettiness. The Packers beat the Buccaneers in overtime, 26-20. The quarterback didn't do. He didn't do what he did was asked of him. You know what I'm saying? Brett Hundley finished with 84 yards, and they still won the game. They're 6-6, and because of the way things are shaking out in the NFC, it looks like we get Aaron Rodgers back in the next week or two, and that's a dangerous place for them to be headed forward, because look at the back end of their schedule, and it's doable. It's very doable. Coming up, they've got the Browns. They're on the road for the Browns, on the road for the Panthers, home for the Vikes, and then on the road for the Lions. 3 road games don't love that, but I do love the fact that they get to play the Browns and they get to play potentially a Lions team that has nothing to play for at the end of the season, and this Packers team very much might have a good deal. As far as the Bucs go, I think it may be a wrap for this coaching staff. I think Jameis might not be what certain Jameis supporters thought, but we'll have to see. Colts lost to the Jags 10-30. When Eli plays for the Jags next year, look out, because they are a competent quarterback away from being something dangerous. The Dolphins put on the Broncos 35-9. 10 minutes left in the game. Adam Gase, formerly of the Broncos, kicks an onside kick to kind of rub it in to his old boss, John Elway, for I guess something happened in 2014. I personally don't care. It's not my beef. But I'm glad to see that sometimes people say, oh, the beef is understandable. And, he's just using the players as proxy to be beef. And other people say, oh, here are 2 games for snatching somebody's chain. I'm just saying, sometimes beef is okay, some beef is not. The Chiefs continue their free fall, losing 31-38 to the Jets in New York, New Jersey. Look, man, Alex Smith looked better this week, but this was the law of diminishing returns. They're using that kind of gimmicky offense. Shout out to Auburn. And at a certain point, you get enough film on it. Also, losing Eric Reed will hurt your defense. Losing Eric Berry will hurt your defense. That's a known fact, and it's a proven fact now. Eric Berry is a great safety, and this defense has been anything but. Titans beat up on the Texans 24-13. I'm not talking about this game. Neither one of these teams mattered. Bring back Deshaun Watson. Chargers beat the Browns 19-10. It's a bit of a rock fight, but guess what? The Chargers at 6-6. They're streaking. They're in the first place in the AFC West, and that should terrify no one. I'm really excited to bet against the Chargers week 1 of the playoffs. Saints beat the Panthers 31-21. Yay for beating the Panthers. Boo for beating the Saints. This 1998 Denver Broncos impersonation, don't appreciate it, don't like it. Thursday night's going to be a long one for your boy. Rams beat the Cardinals 32-16. That's about as the world should be. Cardinals are bad. Rams are very, 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 very good when things are right for them. So you think it's very, 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 very bad when things are right for them. The Raiders held on to beat a dilapidated Giants organization 17-24. And so Monday morning, Giants clean house, fired Jerry Reese, fired Bob McAdoo, and now they say look like they're going to start Eli again. Why are they pretending like they made those decisions to bench Eli in a vacuum? That directive came from ownership. It came from front office. They didn't just decide on their own, hey, let me risk my job, risk my future, risk my reputation in this league by benching one of the most beloved, if not national, but local quarterbacks that we have in this game. 2 rings bought him more than the way they treated him. I'm seeing that now. I get it. He's a local hero. I haven't really had that here in Atlanta in a very long time. But, yeah, you can't just – no one's buying that Reese and McAdoo or why this happened. And trying to push the reset button on it all feels like a slap in the face of the intelligence of anyone who's actually paying attention. Eagles got mollywopped by the Seahawks. The lessons of the words of the Seahawks defense demise was greatly exaggerated. They're at 8-4 right now. They're in sole possession of one of those wild card spots, and I think they could be making some serious noise in the playoffs because Russell Wilson, like him, love him, indifferent him. He's balling out of control. He's accounted for something ridiculous, like 30%, or 90% of the team scoring this year. It's getting absurd, and if he can do it, if they can lean on him and he can do it, and the team can find a way. That's a tough out. The Steelers beat the Bengals by 3 on Monday night in a game I didn't watch. Looks like Boswell kicked the game winner after Antonio Brown caught a 6-yard touchdown pass. Who was out there injured? Like Antonio Brown was very much questionable going into the game. Finished with 5 of 106 for 1 touchdown. That's one of the reasons why he's one of the best in the league. And one of the reasons why I'm not afraid of a Gronkless Patriots playing these Steelers. I don't think they can sustain against this team. That was your show. This is your outro. See you guys next week.